Most of the Muslim community, especially South Asian, but I think most of the Muslim community across has always voted liberal, just because the liberal seems to have, at least at the minimum, a softer language towards Muslims and a bit more willingness to engage in the discussion around Islamophobia. And also the pro-immigration policies have helped a lot of people to bring their families together. So for that reason, most Muslims continue to vote for liberals. Even today, they'll vote liberal. A lot of people will, on kind of the pro-Pierre Poilievre side, just want to save Canada in terms of the economic outlook, where Canada's headed, and Trudeau government hasn't helped that at all. So how do you see how we should be engaging in that? Where should we be putting our votes? How does that matter at this stage? Because now there's a big divide in terms of who do we vote for next.
So if Pierre becomes prime minister, he will add fuel to the genocide in Gaza. And for that, I would tell all those plaster sending, blanket raising Muslims in this country, you got what you deserved. Okay? Because one single bomb that he sends is going to probably outweigh the vast bulk of your entire donation to Gaza.
That's why he's going to come in as prime minister. But is it, sometimes I wonder if it's better for us to engage with the Conservative Party this time, especially now that we can basically expect that they're going to be, holding office. Can the Muslim community outreach to the Conservative Party, which traditionally it has not? So if we continue to completely disengage and alienate the Conservatives and only ever be with the Liberals have taken us for granted, and the Conservatives are basically like, these guys will never vote for us. So if they come into office and Pierre is prime minister and he has literally a non-existent voter base from the Muslim community, we will not have any voice at all in Ottawa. So isn't it better that we engage with Pierre Poilievre and his administration, give the votes maybe, and then have an expectation that, will work with us? Is that some strategy that could work?
Nabil, if we were organized, the Conservative Party wouldn't dare take us on. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. We are a significant minority in too many ridings in this country. We literally would control such a massive number of ridings that the Conservative Party wouldn't dare take us on if we were organized. Now, what does it mean to be organized? It means you've got to have money to organize. You've got to have money to hire talent. You've got to have money to set up institutions and what have you. If we were organized, we're just not organized, because we're just too busy doing the other stuff that I've already berated left, right, and center. And so what do we do now that we've got into this mess? We're in serious trouble. Like, we are now literally in very, very serious trouble. We're going to have an overtly Islamophobic government south of the border, which will further embolden Islamophobia in the Conservative Party. It's already been there for quite a while, as we know. Stephen Harper made sure of that. Okay. On top of that, that same Islamophobic government is going to facilitate and fuel genocide in Gaza. It's going to be somewhat more receptive to the Hindutva community as well.
But the Michigan Muslim community, and I think it was Dearborn, came out in support of Trump, and he even visited. And you probably saw that video. Mm-hmm. And they also asked, that the war in Gaza be stopped and Israel stop bombing Gaza. And Trump has promised that when he comes in, he will definitely stop that war. There was also a video of Saqib, who directly asked Donald Trump about stopping that war. And when Donald Trump was on Joe Rogan's podcast, I'm not sure if you saw a part of that. He brought that up, and Trump seems to have some sort of respect for Saqib, and he said, "I'm going to stop that war." Where do you see that going with the Trump administration? How are they going to stop it? Are they going to stop at least the bombing and the outright hostilities in Gaza? I'm not saying Gaza will go back to being rebuilt and a prosperous country. It's just been completely destroyed. It's going to take decades to rebuild. How do you see him stopping the atrocities?
It's really hard to empathize with Mr. Trump. He is mercurial. He is very spontaneous. Anything